This was re-released this week. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Anybody gone to see it? Anybody going to see it?
I'm not going to go see it. I did go see Return of the Jedi when they re-released it a couple of years ago. But I'm not really that interested in seeing this again on the big screen. I saw it the first time round, but
I have it on DVD. I can put it on anytime I want to.
Yeah, but it's the 20th. Come on, get with it.
Okay, so it's legal enough to drink now. That's
in about 5 years, Leonardo DiCaprio won't be interested in it.
It does make me worry, though, that the 20th anniversary of a movie is generating more buzz than any of the new stuff they've done recently.
Yeah.
Was it like third highest grossing this week?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Actually, it's unclear now if it's the second or third. It may have beaten The Accountant 2 by like $5, but it's neck to neck with The Accountant 2.
That is really impressive, isn't it? For a 20-year-old movie.
For a 20-year-old movie, yeah.
Well, especially given the brand damage that's been done over the last 10 years.
And let's be clear, it's not a great film. It's just the best of the bad of a fairly average.
See, I have to push back. I think Revenge of the Sith is the most stupid, dumbest of all the prequels. I really cannot wrap my head around the love that it gets because it's just so dumb.
Do you know what I think about? Do you know what I think it is? I think it almost gets this. You almost get the story that you kind of wanted in the entire trilogy. Of these films in that one movie, you kind of get that story, but sadly, because they've wasted, it's poorly executed. They've wasted far too much time with him as a very, very small child, and therefore they've lost 3 hours of the runtime of what could have been a really good story.
Could have been episode. This could have been episode 2. This
really, it could. It could.
Or he could have just, instead of a prequel trilogy, done just one movie, and this would have been the main focus of that movie. And I think that probably would have been more well received, because Phantom Menace, there were good moments, but all that stuff in the desert with the pod racing and that kid, man, that lasts for too long. And Attack of the Clones has the weird, cringy love, love story, which is a bit cringe.
It does have the sand monologue, which is peak writing. So,
absolutely.
But you know what? Even with all the criticism, and I had a lot when George released those movies, I didn't hate them or hate him. I didn't think that he was being an asshole or anything on purpose. I thought that he had a big ego and he didn't have people around him saying, like, pushing back on some of his ideas, because he was in a different status when he made it. And that's probably the biggest issue with these movies, that no one was there to say, listen, George, you're brilliant, but you're doing some stupid things here. You got to do this now. And there was nobody to say it, and he wouldn't listen to anybody. So
agreed.
Was it Gary? Was the one in
Gary Kurtz was the guy that was on the first two movies, and he was
very important
by Jedi.
Yeah.
Then he found religion, didn't he?
Kirshner was pretty useful as well.
Well, I don't know about found religion. He said he disagreed with George's vision. He said by the time he got to the third one, he kind of saw George as more interested in selling toys than telling the story that they set out to sell. And I got that from the guy himself. So that's verbatim.
Here you go. This is the main problem with these films.
Nails it.
Green screen wank.
In defense, sorry, go on.
I think that might be the answer to my question, though. I think, like, had Marsha Lucas been around and say, check out this line, Marsha. From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. She might, maybe George, you want to change that a little bit.
You need Lawrence Kasdan or somebody to come in and do a bit of editing on that dialogue.
So the movie was horrible, but with some rewrites of the dialogue and maybe some tightening up of the narrative and the logistics, there were the bones of a good movie in there, and maybe that's what people see.
I agree
when they watch it.
I think the worst bit for me is the bit where Padme dies of a broken heart.
That was kind of stupid.
Robot Chicken nailed that. Is this guy a doctor or a poet?
Well, and remember that the reason that Anakin goes to the dark side is because of healthcare. That's the big thing. It's like, man, if only we had better healthcare in the Jedi.
There was such an easier explanation. All you had to do was say the blunt force from the hit to her head when she dropped down to the floor seems to have caused a major issue.
Yeah,
we don't have time.
Brain hemorrhage. Yeah,
we don't some hemorrhage. We don't have time to fix it. Well, and then what can we do? We can save the children. That's it. You don't need to do anything else.
Yeah.
That would be the end of it.
I know this because I watch a lot of Bones and CSI. Subdural hematoma.
Yeah. There you go.
Or Cushing's disease.
Yeah. I mean, also, more importantly, though, you said that George didn't have people didn't hate him and all that stuff. Yes, they did, and that happened in '97 because he decides I'm going to do the special editions. And by the way, no, you're never going to see the movies that you actually saw because this is mine, and I'll do the hell I want. And nobody else matters. It's like,
and then he twirled his mustache, and then swooped his big cape around
I'm going to be evil now. This is my evil arc. And you like that?
Yeah, he turned to the dark side. He did deal in absolutes in that instance. I agreed.
I want to know how the Emperor went from the center of the known galaxy to the quote outer rim in basically 2 minutes, while Anakin was bathing in lava. Quick enough to sit
he used the Ahsoka ships.
Well, he used it was somehow he did it somehow.
Yeah.
Why do you even call it the outer rim if it's only 2 minutes away? That would be like me calling my bathroom or garage. The outer rim.
Here. Brother Snape. Hello, my friend.
Oh, come
George,
on, that's pure evil.
In a flannel shirt.
Oh, come on. I mean, misguided. I'm going to go with misguided.
I know the Rads wrenched. Red Letter Media are very quiet about this release.
Is that good or bad? That's the question.
I don't know anymore. With
I think that they hold themselves somewhat responsible for the Disney sequels that we got because they were like, no, this is all shit. And look, their criticisms of the prequels are absolutely on point.
Yeah.
The thing is that they then made the stupid statement of, I think this would do better with J.J. Abrams. And some of us, when they heard that, were like, I'm sorry, what? What did you say? And here we go.
I thought Abrams was more suited for a Star Wars type thing than a Star Trek type thing. But I never in a million years would have suggested he should actually be the one to do either.
I mean, to be fair to JJ, and I hate being fair to JJ, he did actually only sign on for one film, and they dragged him back to number 3. He didn't want to do 3 because clearly he knows he can't do endings.
Yeah, because he can't ever write endings, and so he's like, "Look, I'm going to set up a bunch of BS. All right, you handle it. Bye."
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and to be fair to him, he did set up enough things which could have been interesting in part 2 and 3 with a better director and a better writer, but we got.
Yeah, but he also makes some mystery boxes that are very hard to get out of. Like, why the hell is Luke not here? Good luck, enjoy.
Here's the thing: people don't realize it's very easy to create a compelling mystery if you never intend to resolve it. All you have to do is have something spooky weird happen.
But, like getting 1K on B-sides. We don't know how that.
Yeah, I think we.
I mean, it's like the difference between people that write short stories that are spoopy and all that. Like a lot of Lovecraft stuff is I set up the horror, and then like the last scene is the horror is coming. Bye, I'm out. Right, and that's the end of it. If you actually had to write a full novel where you have resolution, I don't think that he could do it. And I'm damn sure that J.J. Abrams can't.
Aren't 950 of those subs Smilex's sock puppet accounts?
Mainly me and Swappers, apparently.
Oh, okay. Well, there's the mystery. See,
sometimes the universe comes together. Shall we sidestep?
Why not?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The Revenge of the Sith re-release opened with 25.2 mil domestically, second biggest opening weekend for a re-release in history.
What was
not adjusted for inflation?
What was the first biggest? Was it Deep Throat? What was it?
Star Wars, I think, was the first one.
Oh, was it really? Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I was going to say Deep Throat. Was that ever unreleased in the first place?
No, it's been in continuous release. So.
But yeah, I like the director's cut though, the one, the special edition with the CGI stuff in it.
Yeah.
Does all the money go straight to
what, Linda
Kathy's,
Lovelace?
Auntie Kathy's retirement fund?
Oh, I hope so. She deserves it.
Catherine Kennedy.
Now that she's leaving Lucasfilm, again.
Yeah, I have sources that have told me that. I'm sure. So.
Yeah, I was trying to think of something Deep Throat. Once it opened, it just kept going and going and penetrating the market. And going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
tremendous market penetration.
It's that bit at the end. It just chokes you up. It's emotional.
I will say, chat. Anybody gonna go see Revenge of the Sith? Anybody?
I didn't go see it, and I'll tell you why. That I've kind of soured on Star Wars. I'm not saying that I hate it or I don't appreciate what it used to be, but man, I used to sit once a year at least and watch all these movies, even at home, even if it's the weird versions or whatever it is. I would always have this very positive feeling about them and the franchise. And in recent years, I think that Disney has just exhausted me. And maybe one day I'll go back and I'll ignore all the crap that Disney did, and it'll, return my passion and love for the original movies. But right now, I'm not excited. I'm happy for people if they are excited. I just didn't feel like going to see it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I hate to say it too, because this is my most important film, really, is Star Wars, the original trilogy. But I can't remember the last time I sat down and watched the DVD.
Why you're most important?
The most important. Well, if we don't, depends how deep you want to get. I suppose it's the first film in which I loved the music so much that I stuck around for the credits, which therefore meant that I started to realize that how many people worked on a movie and started to ask questions about how films were made. So it's the thing that got me into the passion of watching cinema. But it's more. But I suppose I lost a parent at the age of about 10. And it became a bit of a comfort blanket. It was a nice bit of escapism for a couple of hours too. So to me, it's got both sentimental reasons and reasons why I love the passion. I've got my passion for cinema, but it also has this kind of like I say, a bit of a comfort blanket. And I've always felt it's a nice safe space to disappear for a couple of hours. So I owe it a lot. And I feel like I owe it something to some degree. But Disney has tried its very hardest to knock that out of me.
But weren't all the names on the credits just Swapper's sock puppet?
Yes,
counts.
Yeah.
He is Ben Burt. He is John Dykstra. I know he is.
Yeah. The Swapper's camera. He actually invented that, but he had to use a different name.
The Swapperflex. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Listen, they have their own timeless children to deal with. All roads lead to Jake Skywalker. And about a couple of years ago, I found my enthusiasm even for the OT just sort of evaporating. I just don't care anymore. I don't want to not care.
All roads lead to Jake.
Yep. Thing is, I did go to see Return of the Jedi, like I said, in the cinema a couple of years ago for the 40th, and I really enjoyed seeing it again. It was great to see it in an audience. It was great to see it with people who were enjoying it in all the right bits. So,
Did you see the version where Darth Vader goes, "No"?
I think that was the one. Yes.
That ruined it for me. The whole point about the quiet stoicism is he just decides to pick up the Emperor.
Right? Yeah. It just telegraphs his moves so easily.
He's able to convey. He's able to convey real emotion and that being pulled between two things without saying a word.
Right.
Just and he's and even with the face. I mean, he's got a mask, but it's just the movement and everything. It's like
even with the mask, you could tell exactly what's going on, and that's what makes that scene so great. Adding the no, it's like insulting the intelligence of the viewers, and also injecting them with cringe.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely. I just want to say this about Revenge, though, is that I always imagined, because I was told that Anakin went over to the dark side because of corruption from the dark side and his lust for power. But the way the movie makes it almost seems admirable. He went to the dark side to save people he loved, and I wanted to see more absolute power corrupts absolutely kind of thing.
Yeah. But then again,
I didn't want to give him a pass.
Right. The idea of taking a shortcut because he may have had good intentions to begin with, but by taking those shortcuts, that leads him to the inevitable dark side of demise.
He never, until he went after the children. I never got to see the erosive corrosive, corrupting influence. But
No, what I got was angsty teen.
right, and I
Yeah.
I got that you will meet your destiny on the road you take to avoid it kind of thing, and I didn't want to see that.
Right.
Then again, George Lucas retcons his own history all the time.
Hmm.
So his original, he's depending on what year you get him, he will say something quite different about how he wrote the story. I think he initially said he had 3 ideas, 3 films, then it was 5, then it was 9 books, and obviously all that's bullshit. But
Yeah, we have enough.
he writes his
Here you
own
go,
law.
folks. Manuel Grell Wrench, my friend. Between 1983 and 99, we had a lot of time to make up our own headcanon about the events before Star Wars. That made the prequels even more disappointing for many old school fans.
Yeah, and I think more importantly, the movies themselves, the original trilogy, gave you hints that George then decides to completely ignore when he decides to make the prequels.
Z3PO Wrench Will Spot loves it. How did Palps know Padme was dead?
The Force.
You know, stuff. Midichlorians.
Okay.
Right. Do you want to know something? Sorry, I meant to say this earlier. Do you want to know something about that? No, in Return
I do.
of
I
the
want to
Jedi?
know everything about it.
Okay. They couldn't get James Earl Jones to do a no for it.
So they got
one
Emo
had
Williams. They got Emo Phillips. Did they bring Emo?
No, actually, it's Ian McDermott.
Oh, is it?
Emperor,
Okay.
It's Emperor Palpatine
What?
shouting no, and they just modified it so it fits in. It's Darth Vader's.
That's bizarre.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. It's
Bizarre.
the only one they
Okay,
had.
we've got a super chat. Professor R2, Wrench World Sport, $5. Not seeing this in the theatre, but looking forward to the 24-hour marathon with Miss Brown as me on May the 4th.
Is that a thing? Is that
Yeah, I'm
gonna
looking forward to that
mate.
as well. I'm
I can't wait.
We've got
Yeah.
Andor to cover. That's
Got me in.
Ugh.
Is it
God.
really Ian McDermott, or you're just saying that?
No, it is. It's
Well,
Ian
which
McDermott's
one? In
no-
Revenge of the Sith or in Return of the Jedi?
Return of the
I
Jedi.
think it's the special edition of Return of the Jedi where Darth Vader shouts no.
Okay,
They could have
Speaking-
just used the same stupid no that he said in for Revenge of the Sith.
special editions came out
Okay.
before.
Speaking of
Oh.
palps,
Whoa, there he is. Swappers.
Yeah.
Nicky Relihan, the 5 bitches.
what a man! Do you want to read the? Do you want to read that in
Yes.
the best channel swappers? Obviously,
Absolutely, yeah, okay. Discussing film says a TV series focused on Palpatine was in development at some point.
I'm going to say something controversial here. You didn't need a TV series. The 9 movies were the story of
I
Palpatine.
agree. Nobody wants
That
a
was
TV series of this. Why do you want to see him at home doing his knitting? Why do we need to see this?
No, it's going to be a cooking show. Swappers has already given us like on the baking go.
doing his cloning.
I'd like to see a cooking show with Palps, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I wonder, was it going to be a Disney show?
Probably.
Oh,
I
God.
don't know who the hell else was going to do it.
Was it going to like bookend the rise of soy?
No, I mean, well, so because it's Disney, it would have been like some sort of prequel knowledge type thing where they would have further destroyed all the movies going forward because they just make stuff up because they don't bother. But the other thing is, what series, what character was not announced to have a show at one time or another by
true.
Kennedy?
I want the name
Alex-
Num film. I want the Salacious Crumb
Alex
trilogy.
Ashcroft,
I'm in for that. So.
At home with the palps.
I'm sorry.
I'd
I've
like
just got,
just
I've
have
got
him
this-
like reviewing board games or something.
Yeah.
no, I've got this vision in my head of him doing some cooking. It's all like, make sure you take your toast out
Yeah,
or you'll go to the dark
Do
side.
not skip on the brown sugar.
Now, don't scramble these. It's an omelette we're making here.
Your omelette is now complete.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I want this show now.
How would he cook
Please
his
make
food?
this.
Would it be like using the plasma stuff from his fingers?
No, that's
no.
I finished as like a meringue or something to get the little burnt on the on the
Yeah,
top.
Use a blowtorch. Uses his-
Yeah.
See, that would be good.
It would be great.
Cook it at
I really want to see this show.
375
And do you know why-
375 degrees.
What
And
the
you know
hell
why
is
we'll never
What
do
the
it?
hell is
Because we
asparagus
wish it.
anyway?
Now witness the power powder's fully cooked and delicious baked cake.
Witness the power of my Arga.
Yeah.
Where's Swappers when we need him? Okay.
Oh, why we all want this now? Please make this Disney.
Emperor Palpatine's cooking show.
Good, let's go. And then you have commercials for like Dark Side chocolate. It's great.
Okay. I've got an idea.
It's a very minty biscuit.
How to make a steak with lava.
Perhaps Swappers, for his next book, he should do a Emperor Palpatine cookbook.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, man.
That'd be great.
And on that bombshell, shall we move on?